Let's get started. So today on the show, we're going to work on you becoming the 10 so that you can find the 10. Say, what, Bedros? You're going to teach me how to find a chick? Yes. So let's talk about finding the perfect woman. Seriously, I want to talk to you guys about finding the perfect woman. The perfect woman for you might be different than the perfect woman for me. Like, I've got the perfect woman for me, but your perfect woman could be very different. And so we're going to talk through that right now, because one thing I see too often is that men are doing a lot of chasing of women. You're spending a lot of time on these OnlyFans, and I got no judgment against anyone that's doing the OnlyFans. I'm just telling you that they are not gonna be there for you, keeping you warm at night. You're still gonna be by yourself in your mom's basement in your hand and an old gym sock with your shorts around your ankles. The point I'm making here is, imagine if you had a warm, beautiful body next to you that you love and respect, and who loves and respects you, because you guys are equally yoked. And this is what I want to share with you, fellas. So pay attention. Listen, man, every man wants his kingdom. And I started thinking about this, like, if a man wants a kingdom, and you know this to be true. I know the opposition does not want us to have a kingdom. They don't want us to be free thinkers. They don't want us to be independent. They don't want us to be financially sovereign, physically fit. What the opposition wants is for you to be dumb and dependent and docile. They want you to just be average, but you and I know that the average man inspires no one, and we will not be average. We will not live like crop dusters. We are made to be fucking fighter jets. And so I want to talk to you about what a man's kingdom looks like, right? You want money, you want power, you want legacy, you want impact. You also want a woman. You want a fucking awesome woman who believes in your dreams and who you believe in, who you're not there to just to save. You're not trying to be a Captain Save-A-Ho, for crying out loud. And you don't want her to be a Captain Save-A-Ho as well, right? In other words, she shouldn't be there to try and save you. She shouldn't be there to complete you. You should be a complete man, and you should find a complete woman. And I'm going to go through this for you, right? Because if you don't, then what you're really doing is you're spending a lot of time and money chasing women that are going to give you zero companionship, that are going to call you creepy behind your back, and that you're going to find that you're living an isolated life, fellas. And all joking aside, like, I'm sick and tired of seeing good men like you suffering. I'm sick and tired of seeing good men like you saying that good women don't exist, bro. Good women don't exist. Women like that you just described don't exist. They do exist. They do exist. But there's a trick to getting them. And you know what the trick is? I'm going to teach you my one secret strategy. You ready for this? You need to become the type of man that attracts the perfect 10 into your life. That's the trick. You're like, damn, that sounds like a lot of work. It is. But the human condition is to do the work, isn't it? We're born as human animals to be impulsive, to be emotional, to be selfish, and to want to be lazy, complacent, and always seek out comfort. But as you seek out discomfort, you get disciplined, you start doing the hard work, you challenge yourself, you solve your life's problems, you make money, you get yoked financially, mentally, emotionally, you start become this charismatic man who shines like this beautiful light, and it attracts the right woman into your life, fellas. And so I want to talk to you about that. So first off, look, man, I don't know if you're chasing chicks on social media or Tinder or Bumble, wherever you are. Like, you got to stop chasing, and you got to start understanding that when you are chasing women, that is the highest form of repellent to a woman. That's just a reality. Like, women don't want needy men who are like chasing them. What women want to do is they want to take notice of you. They want to take notice of you because you are different than all the other guys. You stand out. And by the way, the bar is set so low today, fellas, that you can easily stand out just by brushing your teeth, combing your hair, wearing clothes that fit you, and just having a decent income stream. I'm not even saying be a millionaire. Just saying having a decent income stream and maybe be able to string a few words together to have a coherent sentence fall out of your mouth. And if you can do that, like, you're going to be in the top 1 percentile of men. That's the truth. But you've gotten so isolated, you're so busy watching TV shows and screen sucking off social media that you've lost all human connection. You've lost all connection to your higher self, to your human being, right? And so now it's time to do the self-work to become that 10. So if you're like, man, I'm not interested in doing that, just click off this episode right now. Just click off and leave. In fact, if it's on YouTube, give me a dislike. And if it's on anywhere else, just give us the fucking finger and say peace, because I only want to serve men who are looking to serve themselves, not men who want to chase and be seen as needy creeps. That's how they see you. And by the way, the chicks that you're chasing are not even worthy of chasing, because one, they have a high body count. I guarantee it. Two, because you're only chasing women that you're not intimidated by. If you want to know the truth, if you have not evolved into the level 10 version of yourself, if you're not the 2.0 human that you ought to be, then you're chasing like women that aren't really evolved. You're chasing women that might have a high body count. You're chasing women that have low standards. You're chasing women that are needy themselves. You're chasing women that are broken. And is that the type of woman that you want? Someone who's just going to be dependent upon you, who's going to have this emotional roller coaster ride they're going to put you through every time? No, man. You want a woman that's equally yoked, man, who's got your back, who believes in you and who you believe in, so that you guys can conquer the world together. Because when you find that right woman, it's not 1 + 1 is 2. That 1 + 1 = 2,000. Trust me, it's a force multiplier by a factor of 2,000 when you find that right person. But you also have to go out there and become the man to attract that woman or those women, to then out of those women, pick the one. So let's get started. All right, so you know that being needy and chasing is a repellent to women. It just is. Their instincts are designed to go, uh-oh, the more he chases, the more I'm going to push away, right? That's why there's that terminology like nice guys always finish last, and women want bad guys and all that stuff. It's not that. It's not bad guys like troublemakers. Women just want men that are charismatic. Women want men that are mysterious. Women want men that are self-sufficient. Women want men that are put together. Women want men who know how to crack a joke, who know how to show up into a room, right? Like that's their DNA is designed to be drawn to that, because you are the apex predator on this planet. That's it. It's as simple as that. And so they go, well, I want to be with the guy who can protect, who can provide, who is charismatic, I can create a family with, who can help me with the shelter. She can't do all those things by herself. There's plenty of things that women can do that you can't. And this is why I say, when you attract the right woman, she's going to fill in all of your inequities that you don't have, that she does. When my kids were smaller and my wife would go on a girls trip just for a couple days. And I'm not talking about when my kids were babies. I'm talking about when they're like 5, 6, 7 years old. I'd stay with my kids for a couple of days, and I would realize how much they needed mom, how much they needed my wife. And the reason was they were still in a phase where they needed mom's safety, mom's security, mom's loving, which is very different than how a rough and tumble dad might love, right? Because they wanted that. When my wife wasn't around, I felt like I wasn't able to give my kids what they wanted. So your job as a man is to find a woman that can provide that if you want to start a family. And so what else are you looking for then? Well, you ought to become the kind of man that you respect, admire, and that you love, right? Think about this. If you see someone, you're like, man, I really like the way that guy carries himself. I like the way that guy shows up. He's respectful. He's like a savage, but he's a servant. That's a good dude right there. Like, deconstruct him, get to know him, follow him, read his books. If you don't know him, you follow this person on social media, read their books, watch their videos. Like, what is it about them? And then start deconstructing that and do it. But I can tell you what that man looks like, because the man that you love, respect, and admire and want to be like 99 out of 100, these are the traits that they have. One, you got to get fit. You got to get fit. And getting fit is part of the over-encompassing life resume. See, my friend Jesse Itzler, if you're wondering who Jesse Itzler is, Jesse is married to Sarah Blakely. She owns the Spanx brand. She's a billionaire now. She built $1 billion business and sold it, Spanx. How awesome is that? And Jesse, to his own right, has built and sold multiple $100 million companies, right? Talk about a power couple right there. But Jesse Itzler talks about building your life resume. Like, yeah, you spend your time building your work resume. Well, I've worked in 9 different careers, and I've moved up in those careers, and I had different roles and responsibilities, and I managed so many people. And from this date to that date, I did this, and this was my pay. And by the time I left that company, I was a senior VP executive. It's great. But what does your life resume look like? Nothing much, really, right? Nothing really to write home to. And the reason that's the case is because you haven't taken time to excel in life like you have in your work. And so what if in your life resume, you started building out your life resume? You're like, you know what, dude? I'm going to be a fit dude. I'm going to be an athletic dude. I'm going to be the kind of guy that other dudes want to look like. And I'm going to be the kind of guy that women turn their heads for, right? Visually, first impressions, that's a fit dude, right? So can you be a fit dude? Can you work out? Can you eat right? Can you do it consistently for a long period of time? And if you can, not only do you become physically fit, but you may not know this, but exercise is the highest form of antidepressant. Like, exercise is the best form of antidepressant. Like, you're sitting there stressed, anxious, and depressed, playing video games, avoiding life's realities, escaping through alcohol, vaping, weed, because you don't want to deal with your problems, popping Xanax or whatever the fuck it is you're popping, so that you don't have to deal with your thoughts. Not once thinking about, no fucking doctor is going to prescribe consistent hard exercise because it is the highest form of antidepressant. You go work out regularly for 6 months, 5, 6, 7 days a week, like a fucking savage. You eat right. You develop those abs. And as you develop those abs, you tell me that your anxiety and depression don't just magically go away. I'm not saying depression doesn't exist. It is a clinical thing. And maybe 1% of the people out there who say they're depressed are truly clinically depressed. The rest of you just need to get fit and jacked, because in the process of getting fit and jacked, in the process of eating right and doing it for a long period of time, you develop traits of discipline, consistency, focus, delayed gratification, signaling to the opposite sex that this dude has what it takes. You need to develop that, my friend.